Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are flying the Su-27, which was the most recent addition to the Russian tech tree and was recently moved up to 12.7 with a bunch of other top tier planes. When this plane was first released, I wasn't quite up to playing the Su-27, primarily due to my skill issues at rank 7, though realistically, I'd only just started my grind with the MiG-23M, so I wasn't really that well equipped to talk about flying anything over a biplane. I have recently allowed myself to get absolutely blasted by veteran top-tier warriors, and by God, this plane is the most enchanting mixed bag I have flown yet. If you know anything about this plane, it will likely consist of two things. One, it carries enough missiles to take down the North Korean Air Force without backup, and two, Cobra. When you launch in this plane for the first dozen times or so, it feels almost compulsory to attempt a Cobra and subsequently nose down into the runway and blame the servers for the loss of your aircraft, fully knowing that you didn't know what you were doing at all. The stock experience grinding with this thing was genuinely a pain in the ass, since I had never really gotten accustomed to adjusting the radar, or even individually adjusting the flap stages, so I was going into this with the kinesthetics of a baby turtle in shark-infested waters. Not only that, but you will be facing off in a world of missiles with basic flares, 2 R-73s, and not an idea as to how to use either of them. Eventually, though, I did manage to pick up on how to fly the plane a bit, and managed to stop wasting my R-73s, which, though good, are not the instant death sticks the forums would have you believe they are. After unlocking some better missiles, I did start to experiment with my playstyle, but things only really got good when I unlocked these beauties. You see, R-73s might be really good at doing the goofy in the middle of a dogfight, but outside of it, not so much, which is where your newly acquired R-27s come in. The ER is incredibly good at dealing with targets all the way out to even 50 kilometers, and the ET is really good at finding the afterburner of that one flare-dumping gripping you see every single game. Together, these missiles take a plane that already had a competitive performance against this batch of the best, and allow it to mindlessly slaughter half of the opposing team and 2 to 3 allies. The ideal loadout to bring in every game includes 4 R-73s, 2 27 ETs, and 4 27 ERs. This loadout will allow you to play with a fair bit of versatility and take out opponents in a variety of scenarios. An enemy is trying to shoot a missile at a satellite, throw an ER at them. They're trying to escape your cannons, throw the goofy at them. You spot a mortal beneath you, and you can smite him with the death ray that ignores flares. All jokes aside, you do need to remember that this is a support aircraft, meaning that it's best to stay away, throw missiles into the crowd, and let your allies take the lead for you. If push comes to shove, though, this plane can take to the dogfight a lot easier than its large size might suggest, though that is usually a last resort. Usually you want to keep your speed up and make it a struggle for enemies to turn and chase you with a missile. This allows you to make deadly sweeps through the furball at the start and come out the other side without too much damage. You want to remember to set your flares to periodic release when you make these passes, or the eye candy you bring into the fight will more often than not get a bite taken out of it. Another way to approach this plane is to climb up to the stratosphere and rain hell from above. This means the benefit of not being on a goblin gold rush below, but now you have to deal with them. This isn't too difficult of a situation to deal with once you figure it out, but other stratosphere warriors don't fly alone very often, so you better be ready to deal with 2 to 3 of them or you're headed back to the hangar. Show them what you brought to the discussion by throwing a couple of 27 ERs at them and watch them fall. If you throw yours late to the party, just notch, relock, and watch them fall anyways. You can't really do much to counter it other than notching, and that only really works half of the time anyways.